Solve the system of linear equations using a graphing tool. So when we see graphing tool, we should think of tools like a graphing calculator or online resources that are going to let us graph these lines without doing it by hand. So the first one I'll show you is with a graphing calculator, and here's an example of one. This is a TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. Now, one of the drawbacks of a graphing calculator is both of your equations have to be in slope-intercept form. They have to have y equals the y by itself. So in this system, both aren't. So I'm going to rewrite the first one, 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So negative 2y equals negative 3x minus 6. And I'll divide both by negative 2. So that y equals 3 over 2x plus 3. Then the second equation needs to be rewritten as well. So we'll subtract x from both sides. So 2y equals negative x minus 2. And we'll divide everything by 2 so that y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. So there's a little bit of scratch work you can do before you can that you have to do before you even use the graphing tool. So the graphing calculator now you turn on, and we're going to go to y equals to type in both of our equations. The first one we'll do is 3 over 2x plus 3. And the fraction I'm going to use parentheses, so I'll do parentheses 3 divided by 2, parentheses x plus 3, and then I'll scroll down to now enter negative 1/2 x minus 1, so negative parentheses 1 divided by 2 parentheses x minus 1. So then now to see this system, I'll hit graph. So I can see my two lines that are graphed, and I can see the point of intersection, their solution, but I need the graphing calculator to tell me exactly what that point is. So I'm going to hit second, trace, which is going to bring me to the calculate menu. And if you look down, you can see number 5 says intersect. So I can scroll down to 5 and hit enter, or just hit the number 5, which brings me back to the graph where it says first curve, so the cursor's on the first line, so I can hit enter. Second curve, the cursor's on the second line, so I can hit enter. And guess I'm going to use my right and left arrows to move my cursor to be right about where I think the intersecting point is. So I think it's about there. So I'm going to hit enter. So it says now on the bottom of the screen, it says the intersection is x equals negative 2 and y equals 0. So putting it together as an ordered pair would be negative 2, 0. And looking at our answer choices would be C. So that's the graphing calculator. But what if you don't have a graphing calculator? What if you only had the internet as your resource? So you can go to a website called Desmos.com. And if you go to Desmos.com/calculator, it brings you to this type of screen here. So we can enter both of our equations, and that's a benefit of, or an advantage of Desmos. You don't have to have it in y equals mx plus b into slope-intercept form first. So I can just go to the first box and type in 3x minus 2y equals negative 6, and it graphs the line. And click on the second box and do x plus 2y equals 2 to get the other line. And if I click in the graph area, I can see my system. And if I click on the point of intersection, hold on, wait, was that my original system? Hold on, I have 3x minus 2 equals negative 6, x plus 2y, oh, it equals negative 2. So even, see, I made a mistake and it's not matching up with the graphing calculator, but that's a good sign to check your work and always make sure your system is the original system. But if you made a mistake typing in, you can click anywhere in the equation. So I can go to any point and I see this should be negative 2. So now I can go back to what my graph should look like. And if I click and hover, I can see that that point is negative 2, 0. So now it agrees with the graphing calculator, and that's going to be the solution still to my system, which matches with answer choice C.